This is a copyrighted audiobook production of Music, Silence, and Noise, authored by Mohammed Saad Riaz. All rights reserved.
Music, Silence, and Noise. Section 2. Decrescendo, the orchid kind. The secret to life is to put yourself in the right lighting. For some, it's a Broadway spotlight. For others, a lamplit desk. Susan Kane. In 2017, I met the members of my extended family, Shahid and his third-grader 7-year-old son, Umair. Umair is the firstborn to his parents, and so gets a lot of their affection and attention. He gets good grades in school and assumes the top 3 positions in his class. Moreover, Umair displays a just-so balance of reservedness and feistiness. He enjoys solitude more than business. He is not extremely athletic, overly popular, or very outgoing. Instead, he is compliant and mostly well-behaved. Sometimes, he demonstrates attention-seeking behavior, but he is easily manageable. Once, we met on a big family dinner at a pizza restaurant. It was busy and full of loud, chattering people. The air was thick with the sense of freshly baked pizzas. A waiter was roaming around our big table asking everyone if they'd like to order something. A young girl of another family very confidently asked for a pepperoni and cheese pizza. Umair smiled at her and looked back at his father, and anxiously asked him, "What should I order?" Shahid was in conversation with his aunt sitting across him. He quickly replied to his son to encourage him that it was better he knew what he wanted. Umair's eyes were moving fast, looking for an answer. He couldn't tell what he wanted. Tension grew on his face and limbs, his mind racing with accelerating thoughts. Shahid read his anxiety and started to suggest him options of pizza toppings. Umair started to feel pressured, as if he would fail if he weren't able to tell. His brother, sitting on his left, shouted, "I know what I want." Umair started to feel that everyone on the table was waiting for him, increasing his anxiety. Unconsciously, he started to crack his knuckles. He asked his father, almost whispering, "Chicken?" Shahid was now in 2 conversations at the same time. "Tell the waiter if you want chicken, he will bring chicken pizza," Shahid replied, and turned back to his aunt. "What?" Umair murmured. "Say that you want a chicken pizza," Shahid instructed him. Umair looked at the waiter, who already knew what Umair wanted, but played along. "I want," said Umair, and looked back at his father for reassurance. He nodded and continued, "Chicken? I want chicken." Shahid excused himself to his son's need and added, "Pizza." "Pizza." Umair nodded. "No spices, please," Shahid instructed the waiter. "Yes, no spices," Umair said confidently. The others on the table continued with their orders, and Umair was still confused that he might haven't placed the order correctly. I noticed that he had started to pinch the bridge between his 2 eyes. He often does this when he is self-conscious. He often shows self-doubting behavior when he is asked to take the lead on something as simple as ordering his favorite food. His father, Shahid, was also concerned about such behavior. He is a conformist, and if something is told to him, he will invariably follow it. Digging down, I found Umair often using his mother as a shield between him and the strangers. 4 years in school, and even today when his parents leave him at the school gates, he wants to hold back to them. He only talks to his 2 close friends mostly. He wants to talk to the other kids, but gets confused in what to say or how to say it. What if he gets it wrong? He is quiet in class and doesn't participate much in group discussions. He's sensitive and feels bad when someone talks low of him. He is a dream kid to have in a classroom, to be honest, because he is almost invisible and yet gets good grades. On another occasion, I found him disappointed with himself. He looked slightly abashed when he had scored 0 out of 5 in a math test. The reason being, he forgot to put equals before the fractions in his solution. In all honesty, such a careless attitude of teachers irritates me. Although the answer was right, what was the point of deciding to mark him fail? Especially when it is very unusual of him to perform low in class. Never mind, some antiquated mentality believes to hammer down learning by being as harsh as possible. Umair's school environment is highly competitive. They live in a joint family setup in a busy small town of Punjab, Pakistan. It is not uncommon to find middle-class families sharing houses with their immediate siblings. Umair also faces strong competition at home with his brother and 8 cousin brothers. He is a highly sensitive kid. Unlike many other kids of his age, he thinks deep about his behaviors and others. He continuously tries to make sense of the world around him. So, that day, he cried, not because of the unfair test marking, but because of thinking why he couldn't remember these simple things on his test. He is a self-doubting and stressed kid. Worried about his self-esteem and well-being, Shahid looked at me and requested me to meet his class teacher. That's when I met Amna, his teacher, along with Shahid. Her first impression was of a self-justifying and nervous woman hiding in a cloak of girlish femininity, to be honest. But after reassuring that this exercise was not a blame game or fault-finding expedition, she started to appreciate the cause. We told her that Umair was an introvert and explained what this implied, and that they both needed to start thinking differently about Umair, in the classroom, at school in general, and his time at home. From Umair's perspective, however, things didn't sound worrying at all. He didn't endure negative thoughts. His behavior that was shaping his turbulence and anxiety was unconscious. Students like Umair, conformist, introvert, and high achievers, fall in the Decrescendo group. If not managed with care, they can demonstrate turbulent behavior, which might not disrupt your classroom environment, but will surely disturb something more critical than that, their inner self. Whenever we consider doing something in a classroom that would affect students' emotional needs, we are morally obligated to take the decrescendo into account carefully. Because, unlike many other students, they will not be upfront about it. And they might suffer, and the beautiful music inside these talented students can turn into eerie silence or screeching noise.
If you appreciate the ideas presented in this audiobook, please share it with your friends and family. Also, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. This will help the author to monetize this production. Thank you for your token of appreciation.